Governor Itola said this at an event organized to commemorate the June 12th Democracy Day. OSBC reporter Oluchi Amuda completes the story.
The June 12th Democracy Day event, organized by the state government of Osun in collaboration with Osun Civil Societies Coalition, attracted dignitaries from far and near. Speaking at the program, Governor Adegboyega Oyetola said the theme of the event, which is June 12, 29 years after, interrogating Nigeria's democracy in the Fourth Republic, Osun State in perspective, provided an opportunity to evaluate the nation and state's democratic experience. He noted that the spirit of June 12 is the spirit of the masses, which tells of the limitless possibilities that is inherent in the collective decision to make Nigeria work, notwithstanding its many challenges. Governor Oyetola maintained that the policies of his administration will continue to be anchored on quality service delivery to the people. In his address of welcome, Chairman of the Day, Chief Adegboyega Awomolo, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, who went down memory lane about the history of June 12, noted that Osun has remained a leading light for other states of the Federation, going by the quality leadership Governor Oyetola is providing in the state. While delivering a lecture titled June 12, 29 years after, Interrogating Nigeria's Democracy in the Fourth Republic, Osun State in Perspective, the guest speaker, Professor Shola Akinriade, said the June 12 mandate will be fully realized when Nigeria is properly restructured to meet the exigencies of the time. According to him, a restructured federation will bring governance closer to the people and allow the regions to grow in their own space. He maintained that Nigeria must cut down the cost of governance for the people to enjoy full democratic dividends. Other speakers, including Dioluwo of Iwo, Oba Abdurrashid Adewale Akande, Professor Wasiu Oyedokun, and Mr. Lekan Badmos, Commissioner for Regional Integration and Special Duties, commended Governor Adegboyega Oyetola for allowing the interests of the people to reign supreme through the delivery of developmental projects in every nook and crannies of the state. Dignitaries at the event included members of the State Executive Council led by the Secretary to the State Government, Prince Wole Oyebamiji, the Chief of Staff, Dr. Charles Akinola, Head of Service, Dr. Ologboyega Oyebade, Royal Fathers, members of the civil societies organizations, among others. Oluchi Amuda, OSBC News.
Still on event in Nigeria, a US-based religious leader, Prophet John Omotosho, has advised Nigerians to have faith and perseverance in Almighty God in order to overcome some of the problems bedeviling the nation. Prophet Omotosho said this in Osogbo while speaking with OSBC News on this year's Democracy Day celebration. Prophet Omotosho is of the opinion that Christians and Muslims alike must come together like one indivisible entity and fight tooth and nail to put the nefarious activities of the bandits, kidnappers and terrorists in the country at bay. The clergyman stressed that Nigeria as a nation has not been able to achieve much from democratic rule since our independence, called on the people of the country to do the needful for the nation to attain the required democratic rule.
But we are yet, and until we come back to God, to fear Him, to reference Him that is God, until then we'll be able to make it.
Nigerians have been told to look for political leaders who have genuine national acceptability as they go to polls in 2023. A politician in Osun State, Honorable Tunji Adesokun, made the call today while featuring on our weekly program, Issues in the News. Recalling the political exploit of late MKO Abiola, the symbol of the June 12, 1993 presidential election, Honorable Adesokun noted the need for the electorate to seek out to recall leadership qualities in those to be voted into political offices. He described the APC presidential candidate Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the only politician who has the general acceptability the kind enjoyed by late MKO Abiola. This, according to him, played out in the just concluded APC presidential primary, where Asiwaju Bola Tinubu received massive support from across entities. No fewer than 8 people have been reportedly killed in a terrorist attack in southern Mali. The attack was carried out by unidentified gunmen at checkpoints in the city of Katouala. 8 others were severely injured and 1 person went missing. It will be recalled that in May this year, an Italian family and a Togolese citizens were abducted by unidentified individuals near Kotiala, the Litako-Goma region bordering Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger, has become the target of terrorist groups affiliated with Al-Qaeda and Daesh ISIS in recent years. Despite the presence of foreign military mission in Mali since 2013, terrorist groups in the country continue their attack unabated. This is the world at noon, coming to you from Osun State Broadcasting Corporation, Ile Awiye, Okebale Osogbo, Voice of the West. Now amid this message. Never play with the feelings of others because you may win the game, but the risk is that you will surely lose the person for a lifetime. The Israeli Teachers Union (ITU) today commenced industrial action for about 2 hours in preschools, elementary schools and middle schools in the Alpha area in protest of the freeze on salary negotiations with the Finance Ministry. The Alpha area strike follows similar industrial unrest in central Israel and in Jerusalem. The Israeli Teachers Union (ITU) has warned that if the Finance Ministry failed to speed up the negotiations on the teachers' salaries, the strike will continue. The ITU Secretary General, Mr. Yafa Ben David, said, up till now, the views of the Prime Minister and alternate Prime Minister have not been heard on the matter. In the meantime, U.S. President Mr. Joe Biden will travel to Saudi Arabia and Israel next month. Mr. Biden's trip, which is expected to take place around mid-July, may include a meeting with Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. U.S. spokesperson for the National Security Council confirmed Mr. Biden's trip to Israel and Saudi Arabia. According to information, the visit is aimed at bolstering relations with Saudi Arabian authorities at a time when President Biden is trying to find ways to lower gasoline prices in the United States. Malaysian authorities have confirmed that it will abolish the mandatory death penalty, which is currently being used in a number of offenses, including murder and terrorism, and has promised to leave judges to decide the appropriate punishment for would-be offenders. After reviewing the findings of an expert report into proposed alternatives, government will now consider proposed alternative sentences for 11 offenses that carry the mandatory death penalty. The Malaysian Law Minister, Mr. Wan Junaidi Jaffa, said in a statement that government will also look into the use of death penalty in 22 other offenses. Malaysia took its first step towards the abolition of death penalty in October 2018 during the short-lived Pakatan Harapan government and currently has a moratorium on execution. Information has it that more than 1,300 people are on the death row, with most of them involved in drug-related offenses. United Nations experts have said that the country that retained capital punishment should use it sparingly, only for those involved in serious crimes. Richest Muslims preparing for pilgrimage to Mecca in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia are at risk of losing thousands of pounds after the Saudi government has enforced online booking. Pilgrims have been told to use the website to register their interest, and that a draw will take place to choose who will go on Hajj. Information has it that some have already booked with Hajj tour operators and could lose their money. According to report, the cost of the once-in-a-lifetime trip varies from about 36,000 euros to more than 10,000 euros, and many Muslims spent years of savings for the obligatory trip to Mecca and Medina. The head of the all-party parliamentary group on Hajj and Umrah, Malam Yassim Kwazim, has written to the Minister of Hajj and Umrah, Taiwan bin Vahla, to ask for the new system to be adopted for next year's Hajj. And here again are the highlights of the world at noon. Osun State Governor, Southwest Nigeria, Mr. Adegboyega Oyetola, has emphasized that his administration will continue to be inspired by the collective will of Osun people to drive its developmental aspirations so as to build a strong, virile, and resilient democracy. No fewer than 8 people have been reportedly killed in a terrorist attack in southern Mali. Malaysian government has confirmed that it will abolish the mandatory death penalty. which is currently being used in a number of offenses including murder and terrorism, and give justice the leeway to decide the appropriate punishment for would-be offenders. British Muslims hoping to make this year's pilgrimage to Mecca are at risk of losing thousands of pounds after Saudi government has enforced online bookings and registrations. And that was The World at Noon, edited by Olushola Egwadofo and delivered by Adeniyi Kehinde. In today's news talk, a veteran journalist, Adeyeye Odidokun, charges media practitioners covering elections in Nigeria to be courageous and be professional in the district
of gender, status, class, and positions. Have you not heard sad news of traditional rulers, clerics, students, and even politicians who have been victims of bandits in the past? The brains behind the evil deeds are still on stage, even demanding for ransom. Indeed, Nigeria is passing through turbulent